Greetings, dear friends. In this lesson, we will work with styles for the news page. First of all, we need to edit the design as there is a small error here. You see, in both versions there is a dark header, although normally in the light version there should be a gradient like this one here. So let's fix this issue and proceed to writing the styles. Let's see, where is this gradient? We have it. Add it to this container, and most likely there are no variables there. Yes, here is a variable. We don't have a variable here. Let's add it. Okay, through a variable. And the second point, we will enable the version, change the version here to dark, move up to the element itself to the light version, and we have fixed everything here. Next, we need to adjust here, since this is a component. This is its child component, so we select. Not the parent. We select the quadrant component itself. That is, we change it the other way around. Light to dark, dark to light. Oh, now, there is logic, meaning the dark version, light version. Next, we need the image. Let's find this image. Here is the container right on the section where this image is located, but to take it, we will have to disable everything that is on it. And again, sorry, the image goes under the header, and we have it calculated up to this line. No worries, so let's export. We will export this image, and at the same time, we'll also export the image from the content. By the way, it has a border with rounded corners. We will remove them. We will apply these corners using CSS. Otherwise, we will forget. If we save it like this with rounded edges, we will forget. And we will return what we hid in the header. Let's go. Look at the site and remember where we left off. So, we displayed the data but did not display the image itself. Now we will display it. This was a dynamic block, so let's look for the PHP files. And let's think about it here. So, essentially, we need a variable that will hold this background image. The image will be available if the function getPostThumbnailURL exists. So using the getVid function, I pass it the global ID, and with the second parameter, I pass the original size, meaning the one uploaded by the user, if it exists. Can you add a style attribute and insert this image into the background in that style? Otherwise, if it doesn't have a thumbnail, nothing will be added. And consequently, this variable can already be used for the section with the image. Here it is, the featured image section. We add it. Next, let's go to the admin panel, upload the images. By the way, our posts already have an evening. The image is a thumbnail that is displayed here. You can, in principle, add a meta field inside for the header. You can stretch the existing thumbnail to the sisters, which can be done very easily, in principle, at your discretion, as you find comfortable. Let's take this content and insert it into the post. Take the content, Next, let's run the compiler so that our CSS styles are applied. I remind you that this is a block, so CSS is written within the blocks, and a compiler is needed. This is the single news block. And consequently the style says so 20. And for the section, also not 20. Let's open some existing block to copy the clamp value. Let's go to subscribe, and there we'll also take the background. We also put the background into the pseudo element before for us. For the block, it will be necessary to add position relative and background size cover so it fits like a wrapper. For the dimensions, let's also make it 80%, although maybe we'll make it 100% so there's more white. And then this black color will look more neutral. There will be more contrast. Let's do it that way. We'll make its width 100%. Next, regarding the height, this header is 539, but it takes up space along with the top part. We need to remove 100, so it comes out to 439, right? 440 is its height. Then we'll add a minimum height to this section with future dimension 44 pixels. Yes, good. The gradient is displayed perfectly. The next element is the wrapper, which is inside. We'll add position relative and z-index to this wrapper so it rises above. Our mask. Probably on this wrapper. We'll also add display flex. Flex, dimension, hollow. Justify content center on. I'm not sure if we have these labels centered in principle. They are actually centered within the block if we ignore this header. But we can't ignore the header, so it turns out they're not quite centered. Rather, we should draw a line and see here how much we have. 64.5, well, let it be 65 pixels, so still give Tiffy content start. But there will be some padding top of 65 pixels. So, moving on. The maximum width of this container IC is 1280. Specifically in the container with the header, we will set such a long header to the dimensions. Let's look at 54. Here 64, because this is H1. And secondly, it really should be H1 for us, since this is a single post and it's the main headline. So we change it to H1. And yes, it will now be larger and closer already to what we have in the layout. So here inside G24, this section itself has the class news. No, it will also be for us. Flex. Mr. 24. Let's take the teletext. Next, we will also need these icons. Next, we note that the icons change color depending on the theme. For this reason, we will connect them as tags. So when the layout grows, it won't look very nice here, but we have no other choice. And now this variable, more precisely this value, will be replaced with a variable. Let's first insert the second icon to change everything at once. Let's close and copy this value. I press scroll off. I will change it to a variable. Let me try to take this value. We have as far as I remember from previous lessons, this backup won't really work. Therefore, we just change this data in this way everywhere. Let's take a look. Change the theme, wonderful. They work perfectly. Next, we return to CSS and style a little bit. Then the elements inside should also be flex. They are centered in the middle and 8 pixels. Look how it digs. But it just saw it in other places. We have the same ratio when it's 24:16:8, but the Smart Machine. So, good. Here's what we got with the header. We move down. We have one column here for Sasha and another column for content. So essentially we exit this section. I'll collapse it and create a new section. We will also have flex on line item start. Between G, in this section there will be 48 pixels. Now, the soft shell, the neck, will have a static width. This width will be, but we have 184 on the kit here. I'll set it to 200 pixels. While the new content will have a dynamic width, which will be calculated as 100%. Minus hence 248. 200 is the width of the column and 48 is the gap. Next, we have the label neck. Here, we forgot to insert it. Let's insert it. So we can insert it directly into this file, or should the function return it with the label for a year? I think I'll insert it right here. Next, display flex like flex, direction, column, gap, glossy, pixels. Next, styles for the font. Next, here inside we have a container for buttons. Here, most likely, also an 8 pixel gap up to 8 pixels. And links, we have 40 by 40. Rounded edges. We will now come up with and add the icons themselves. Font size 0 and set. Line right 0. So I don't remove this text, I leave it. Useful for both search engines. And I will add the icons themselves with CSS. That's why I set the font size to 0. Alright, moving on. But here we only have Twitter and moreover an old icon. I don't know, let's take it from here. This is also not everything we need here. I think you won't mind if I just save one Twitter icon. I'll use it for all social networks. After all, let's not waste time on this. So here's the Twitter icon, and I copy it and I have it inside all the links for the year. Pseudo element. Bacon. What exactly is this? I'll generate this SVG in the background. And not in both versions white, so I can confidently use this approach. And the second point, the icon is smaller than the container. So I center it and do not repeat it. So, and the sizes are lacking, so apparently it doesn't show it. The second point, it is not positioned at all. That's the problem. No, it should position perfectly. After all, the issue was with the sizes, I think. Yes, now our social share looks better. But actually, output this before element, assign it to a specific class. Let's see if there's a class, no class. No class, no problem. The function can simply be edited. This function is located in a separate file. And consequently, the class Twitter icon in such quotes and consequently now we have a class, and in this class you can attach the corresponding icon. Next, we move to the right part, the right section. Let's also look at the content and see what its width is here. So the image is 1300. We have something small here, some kind of image. No, yes, it's 1300 to 1024 because it's a thumbnail. Select the image and see the resolution is not large but full size, and then it will occupy the entire necessary area. So, we go down to News Content News. All the images that we will have must have rounded corners. Alright, okay, now let's go back to Z. Or just set it to 24 pixels. How much was it? I need to press Ctrl Z 100 times because I reset this value. Next, the text remains the same, the only thing. For paragraphs, we must be. Well, everything is in one paragraph here. Let's edit this after all. Like this, so that these are different paragraphs. And what's this here? It's a list. We need styles for lists. So it turns out like this. We turn this into a list. And at the end, 2 paragraphs. Okay. Well, now it looks correct. So the paragraphs should have the appropriate margin. And you see, we have 24 pixels here, essentially. This 24 pixels will be the separator throughout our content. Therefore, in the content I set such styles with margin 24 on top and none. The only thing is that the first and last elements should not have these margins. That is, the first element's margin top will always be 0, and the last element margin bottom always 0. Well, you see 1 now, 0. And here at the end too, 0. Next, links. If there are links inside, we will also define a style. We'll highlight something and make it a link. And set styles for lists. So, well, it seems now to resemble what we have in the layout. Overall, it looks like this block is complete. Let's open another post that doesn't have so much content, and let's test something else. We have request a poster type blog, which is a regular WordPress. We haven't set a template for it. You see, it loads what we have by default in this empty template, but we will try to set this value for it now. Let's go to the editor. By the way, look in the editor, it turns out there's a little problem. The CSS we set isn't loading. We made an option for it to load where Gutenberg is present. And here, in principle, Gutenberg is logically there, but WordPress does not load this file here. And here you see Gutenberg is present, but WordPress doesn't load that file here. It's a glitch in WordPress. But it's not a problem. We'll figure something out. We'll just load our CSS file in the admin panel. But there are such moments that come up from time to time. So I wanted to edit the template. So let's go to the templates, looking for single. That is, this is our single news. But we just need single. Here it is, single post. We open it, look at the tree. There is a group here. What's in this group? Another group. Content, some separator, and then tags. Comments. We delete everything before the comments. This is where we come from. Delete this group, close it. I select the header and add single news here. Close it. And here we check, so in principle, everything logically saved. Well, and the second point is that we don't have an image, of course, for this post, but let's focus on the main thing. Let's see, that the structure itself works perfectly, you see, meaning we can use this block as a component for other post types because we didn't tie it specifically. Put it in, and if I add some image for the post, so here, what content do we have? And we added the hero block. I don't know, I've already forgotten when we edited this hello world. Let's add more text. And upload future dimension. Let's upload the file we saved at the beginning of the lesson. And here's just what we get, guys. Well, of course, you need to define styles for the basic blocks to if such functionality should be present in the template. If not, then the block is simply removed from the template in the editor, and that's it. So we finished the issue with the single news block. We conclude this lesson here, and in the next lesson we will work with the archive page. We have templates for it. All these styles are already present in the project, so in principle, we will handle this quickly. See you in the next lesson.